Imagine two people, same body, same genetics, same exact meal. One walks before eating, the other walks after. 30 days later, their bodies have changed in measurably different ways. Blood sugar regulation, fat burning efficiency, hormone profiles, even brain chemistry. The difference isn't what they did, it's when they did it. Walking is simple, almost too simple to seem important. But your body doesn't experience walking as just movement. Your body experiences walking as a signal, a biological instruction. And that signal changes completely depending on whether you walk before or after you eat. Before eating, walking tells your body, we're hunting, access stored energy, burn fat. After eating, walking tells your body, we just fed, process this efficiently, don't spike blood sugar. Same activity, opposite metabolic instructions. Most people think timing doesn't matter. They're wrong. Timing is everything because your body operates in states, and those states determine how it responds to every input you give it. So which is better, walking before eating or after? The answer is both, but for entirely different reasons. Let's explore what actually happens in your body when you walk in each state, and why understanding this can transform how you manage energy, blood sugar, and metabolic health. Before we explore the timing, you need to understand what state your body's in before versus after eating. When you haven't eaten for several hours, your insulin is low. Insulin is the hormone that signals store energy. When it's low, your body is in mobilization mode, accessing stored energy. Your liver releases glucose from glycogen stores. Your fat cells release fatty acids. Your body is running on internal fuel, not incoming food. This is a fasted state, not starvation, just the normal metabolic state between meals. When you eat, insulin rises. This signals incoming nutrients. Store them. Glucose floods your bloodstream from digested carbohydrates. Your body shifts from mobilization to storage mode. This is a fed state. Your body's processing incoming nutrients, deciding what to use immediately and what to store. Walking interacts with these states completely differently. The same physical activity triggers different metabolic pathways depending on which state you're in. Minute 0 to 5. The mobilization signal. When you start walking in a fasted state, your body receives a clear signal. We need energy, and we need it from storage. Because insulin is already low, there's no hormonal resistance to accessing stored fuel. Your fat cells immediately begin releasing fatty acids into your bloodstream. Glucagon, insulin's opposite, rises. Glucagon signals your liver to release glucose and your fat cells to release stored energy. A small amount of cortisol also rises. This isn't stress cortisol that stays elevated for hours. This is acute cortisol that mobilizes energy. It's part of normal metabolic function. Your body is shifting into fat-burning mode. Minutes 5 to 15. Metabolic training. As you continue walking, something important happens at the cellular level. Your mitochondria are being trained. When you walk in a fasted state regularly, your mitochondria become better at burning fat for fuel. They upregulate the enzymes and transport proteins needed for fat oxidation. This is called metabolic flexibility, the ability to efficiently switch between burning carbohydrates and burning fat, depending on what's available. Most modern people are metabolically inflexible. They can burn carbohydrates fine, but they're poor at burning fat. They need constant carbohydrate intake to maintain energy. Fasted walking trains your body to access and burn fat efficiently. Over time, this makes you less dependent on constant eating. Minutes 15 to 30. The fat-burning rhythm. Around 15 to 30 minutes of fasted walking, your body settles into a stable fat-burning rhythm. Fatty acids are being released from fat cells, transported to muscles and other tissues, and burned for energy. Ketone production may increase slightly, providing additional fuel for your brain. This is therapeutic metabolic stress. You're forcing your body to do something it's designed to do, but rarely practices. Run on stored fat instead of the incoming carbohydrates. The benefits accumulate with consistency. Regular fasted walking improves insulin sensitivity, enhances fat oxidation capacity, and builds metabolic resilience. The warning. But fasted walking isn't for everyone. If you're highly stressed, sleep-deprived, or dealing with chronic illness, adding fasted exercise can push cortisol too high. This creates more metabolic stress than your body can handle. If you have type 1 diabetes, are pregnant, have a history of eating disorders, or certain other medical conditions, fasted exercise can be dangerous. Fasted walking is a tool. Like any tool, it can be used appropriately or inappropriately. For healthy, well-rested people, it's beneficial. For people under chronic stress, it may be counterproductive. Minute 0 to 10. Intercepting the glucose rush. When you eat a meal, glucose enters your bloodstream. Within 30 to 60 minutes, your blood sugar peaks. For many people, especially those eating high carbohydrate meals, this peak is high. Too high. High blood sugar spikes trigger excessive insulin release. Over time, this contributes to insulin resistance, inflammation, and metabolic dysfunction. But if you walk immediately after eating, ideally within 30 to 60 minutes, you intercept this glucose rush before it peaks. Walking activates your muscles. Muscle contractions trigger the AMPK pathway, which pulls glucose directly from your bloodstream into muscle cells. This happens independently of insulin. You're clearing glucose from your blood through muscle uptake, not through insulin-driven storage. A 2025 study showed that just 10 minutes of walking immediately after eating is more effective for blood sugar control than 30 minutes of walking that starts later. Timing is the key variable, not duration, not intensity. Timing. Minutes 10 to 20. Muscle as glucose storage. As you continue walking, your muscles are actively pulling glucose from your blood and storing it as glycogen, or burning it for energy required to walk. This prevents that glucose from triggering a massive insulin spike. Your pancreas doesn't have to release as much insulin because your muscles are handling glucose clearance. This is particularly important for people with insulin resistance or diabetes. Post-meal walking is one of the most effective non-pharmaceutical interventions for blood sugar management. But it's not just for diabetes. Everyone experiences blood sugar fluctuations. Reducing the magnitude of those fluctuations reduces metabolic stress, inflammation, and long-term disease risk. Minutes 20 to 30. Digestive support. There's a myth that walking after eating disrupts digestion. The opposite is true. Light walking stimulates peristalsis, the wave-like contractions that move food through your digestive system. This actually improves digestion and reduces bloating, gas, and discomfort. Lying down or sitting still after eating can slow digestion. Gentle movement supports the digestive process. By 30 minutes, you've significantly blunted the blood sugar spike, improved glucose clearance, supported digestion, and reduced the insulin demand on your pancreas. While 10 minutes of post-meal walking is excellent for blood sugar, 30 minutes is where additional benefits emerge. At 30 minutes, your body transitions into a stable metabolic rhythm. Fat oxidation increases, cardiovascular benefits accumulate, neurological changes begin. Brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, increases during sustained walking. BDNF supports neuronal growth, cognitive function, and brain health. Serotonin and dopamine production increases. These neurotransmitters affect mood, motivation, and emotional stability. A 30-minute walk isn't just metabolic medicine, it's neurological medicine. This doesn't mean you need to walk for 30 minutes after every meal, but when you can, the additional benefits beyond blood sugar control are substantial. Your body evolved in an environment where movement and eating were linked, but in variable ways. Sometimes humans walked before eating, hunting, gathering, searching for food. This trained the body to access stored energy efficiently during activity. Sometimes humans walked after eating, migrating after a meal, moving to a new location, continuing to gather while digesting. Your body is designed to handle both. In fact, it functions best when you use both patterns. The modern problem is that most people do neither. They sit before eating. They sit after eating. This creates metabolic inflexibility and poor blood sugar regulation. Not because the body's broken, but because it's not receiving the signals it evolved to respond to. Here's the philosophical shift this requires. You're not forcing your body to do something unnatural. You're cooperating with systems that already exist. Your body wants to be metabolically flexible, It wants to handle glucose efficiently. It wants to access stored fat when needed. Walking before or after eating isn't imposing your will on a reluctant body. It's providing the signals that allow your body to do what it's designed to do. This is why small, timed interventions work so well. A 10-minute walk after dinner is not extreme. It's not exhausting. It's not unsustainable. But it's a clear signal, and your body responds to signals. Extreme diets try to force metabolic change through deprivation. Exhausting workouts try to force change through punishment. Timed walking cooperates with existing biology. It works with your body, not against it. So when should you walk? Before or after eating? Both, but for different reasons. Walk before eating to train metabolic flexibility, improve fat-burning capacity, and build resilience. Walk after eating to control blood sugar, reduce insulin demand, support digestion, and protect long-term metabolic health. The same activity, different timing, different signals, different benefits. Your body is waiting for these signals. The question is whether you'll provide them.